Imagine you're standing at a crossroads, feeling overwhelmed by choices. Maybe you're unsure about school, friendships, or your future. You know you should decide which way to go, but every option feels heavy. This feeling of being lost is something everyone experiences at some point in life. It can be confusing and scary. Now, let's take a moment to think about the world around us. People today face so many struggles: stress from school, loneliness, and even the pressure to fit in with friends. In times like these, what if I told you that there is guidance available? It comes from a simple yet powerful message from Jesus: follow me. These words were not just for those who lived 2,000 years ago, they are also meant for us today. Back then, Jesus spoke these words to his disciples. He called fishermen like Peter and Andrew while they were working hard on their boats. They were busy with their daily lives when suddenly Jesus invited them on an incredible journey. They didn't fully understand what it meant at that moment, but they felt something deep inside calling them forward. So why does this matter for us? First, let's break down what it means to follow Jesus. When he said, "Follow me," he wasn't just asking for physical followers, he was inviting people into a relationship built on trust and love. To follow him means we let go of our own worries and allow him to guide us through life's storms. Consider your own life right now. Are there areas where you feel uncertain or afraid? What if you could look beyond those fears and see a path illuminated by hope? That's what Jesus offers, a way out of the darkness and into the light. He showed his followers that it wouldn't always be easy, there would be challenges along the way. Just like those early disciples faced hardships as they walked with him, we too encounter struggles when we choose to follow his path today. It could be standing up for what is right when it feels uncomfortable or showing kindness when it seems easier to ignore someone. Yet despite these challenges, following Jesus brings joy and purpose. His journey led his disciples to moments of profound love and community that changed their lives forever. As we reflect on this idea of following him today, think about how you might take one small step in your own life, whether it's reaching out to help a friend or spending a few moments in prayer each day asking for guidance. By choosing to follow Jesus, we open ourselves up to a life filled with hope and meaningful connections. Remember that you're never alone on this journey, Jesus is there with you every step of the way. As we continue to explore the meaning behind Jesus' words, "Follow me," let's take a step back in time to understand the context of his call. Imagine a bustling shoreline by the Sea of Galilee over 2,000 years ago. Fishermen are casting their nets, their faces glistening with sweat under the sun, working hard to provide for their families. This was the everyday life of men like Peter and Andrew, simple, routine, yet filled with uncertainty about what tomorrow would bring. One day, as they were busy with their daily tasks, everything changed. Jesus approached them, and without hesitation, he said, "Follow me." Picture the scene, two fishermen suddenly faced with an unexpected choice. They had no idea where this path would lead them. Would they leave behind their boats and fish forever? The weight of that decision must have felt enormous. Peter and Andrew were not alone in this call. Jesus later reached out to Matthew, a tax collector despised by his own people for collaborating with the Romans. When Jesus said, "Follow me," to Matthew, it was a radical invitation that challenged societal norms. Tax collectors were seen as traitors, yet here was Jesus, welcoming him into his circle without hesitation. Why is this significant? This call from Jesus was revolutionary. It wasn't just about following him physically, it was an invitation to transform their lives and hearts. Jesus wasn't looking for perfect followers. He wanted those who felt lost or broken because he saw potential in them that they might not even see in themselves. These moments were powerful demonstrations of Jesus' love and acceptance. When he invited these men to follow him, it was more than just a rabbi gathering disciples, it was a divine invitation into a relationship filled with purpose and hope. He asked them to leave behind their old ways and embrace a new life, one marked by adventure, challenges, and most importantly, growth. Now think about your own life today. Just as Peter and Andrew faced their fears of the unknown when called by Jesus, we also encounter moments where we must choose whether to embrace change or stay in our comfort zones. It's so easy to cling to what feels safe, but sometimes that safety holds us back from something greater. As we reflect on Jesus' call, consider what it means for you personally. What are the nets you need to let go of? Is it fear of failure or perhaps the expectation of others? By choosing to follow him, just like those first disciples did, you open yourself up to new possibilities and connections that can change your life forever. So as we think about this crucial invitation from Jesus today, let's remind ourselves that he is still calling us, inviting us into a journey full of love and purpose. Will you take that step forward? As we dive deeper into the meaning behind Jesus' call to follow me, imagine standing at the edge of a beautiful, yet daunting mountain trail. It looks inviting, but there are steep climbs ahead and uncertain paths. This image captures what it truly means to follow Jesus, a journey filled with trust, sacrifice, and faith. When Jesus invited his first disciples to follow him, it wasn't just a simple ask, it was a profound challenge. To follow Jesus means stepping out of our comfort zones and trusting in his guidance, even when the path seems unclear. Think about it, Peter and Andrew left their fishing nets, their livelihoods, because they felt a pull towards something greater. They didn't have all the answers, but they had faith that Jesus would lead them to a life filled with purpose. This journey is not always easy. Sacrifice is a key part of following Jesus. It could mean letting go of an old habit that holds you back or prioritizing your values over fitting in with peers. For example, imagine a student who wants to be popular but feels pressured to cheat on a test. Choosing honesty instead, even if it means facing the risk of not being liked as much, is a form of sacrifice that reflects true character and faith in doing what is right. Trusting Jesus also means believing in his love for us during tough times. When our lives feel like they're spinning out of control, it's easy to doubt and feel alone. But by following him, we learn that we're part of a bigger story. Like the disciples who walked alongside him, we can find strength in knowing that even when the road is rough, we have someone guiding us through our struggles. Now let's think about the journey of faith itself. Following Jesus is like taking those first steps on that mountain trail. Each step may feel small, but they add up to great strides in our lives. Every act of kindness, every moment spent in prayer, and every time we choose love over hate builds our relationship with him. Let's also remember that we don't have to walk this path alone. Just as the disciples supported each other, we have our own communities, friends, family, or church groups that help us along the way. Together we can face challenges and celebrate victories. So as you reflect on Jesus' invitation to follow me, ask yourself what steps you might take today. Are there fears holding you back? Is there something you need to let go of in order to embrace this journey? Remember, following Jesus opens a door to a life full of hope and purpose. In closing, let's take a moment to acknowledge the beauty of this journey. It's not just about arriving at a destination, it's about growing along the way and discovering who God created you to be. Embrace this call with an open heart, and let Jesus guide you on a path that leads to a life beyond your wildest dreams. As we continue our journey through the meaning of Jesus' invitation to follow me, let's look at some remarkable stories from the Bible that illustrate how following him transformed lives. Each of these individuals came from different backgrounds and faced unique struggles, yet they all answered Jesus' call in profound ways. Let's start with Peter, a fisherman who was known for being impulsive and fiery. When Jesus first called him, Peter was just a regular guy, casting his nets into the Sea of Galilee. He didn't fully understand what following Jesus would entail, but he felt a deep pull to leave everything behind. Imagine the moment he stepped out of his boat, leaving behind his familiar life. His journey with Jesus was not always easy. He faced doubts and even denied knowing Jesus during a critical time. However, after Jesus' resurrection, Peter became a leader of the early church. His transformation from a simple fisherman to a bold preacher shows us that following Jesus can lead to incredible growth and purpose, even when we stumble along the way. Next, consider Matthew, a tax collector who was despised by society. Tax collectors were viewed as traitors because they worked for the occupying Roman government and often cheated their own people for profit. When Jesus approached Matthew at his tax booth and said, "Follow me," it was a radical act of acceptance. Matthew left everything behind, his job, his wealth, and the scorn of others, to follow Jesus. His life changed dramatically as he became one of the 12 disciples and later authored the Gospel of Matthew. This story reminds us that no matter our past or how others view us, Jesus sees our potential and calls us into a new life of hope and purpose. Then there's Mary Magdalene, who had her own struggles. She was tormented by 7 demons before encountering Jesus, who healed her and restored her dignity. After experiencing his love and grace, Mary became one of his most devoted followers. She was present at the crucifixion and was the first to witness his resurrection. Her story illustrates that following Jesus means finding freedom from our burdens and becoming empowered to share that hope with others. These biblical examples highlight an important truth. Each person who followed Jesus faced challenges but found their lives transformed in extraordinary ways. Their stories show us that following him is not about perfection, it's about being willing to take that first step despite our flaws and fears. As you reflect on these stories today, think about your own life. What struggles do you face? Are there moments when you feel unworthy or unsure? Remember that just like Peter, Matthew, and Mary Magdalene, you are invited to embrace this journey with Jesus. He sees your heart and wants to lead you toward your own transformation. So take a moment to consider how you can respond to his call today. Let go of any doubts or past mistakes, and step forward into a life filled with hope and purpose. Following Jesus might change everything for you, just as it did for those who walked with him long ago. As we reflect on the powerful stories of those who chose to follow Jesus, it's important to acknowledge that discipleship isn't always an easy path. In fact, following Jesus today comes with its own set of challenges that can sometimes feel overwhelming, just like the struggles faced by his first disciples. Imagine you're in a crowded school hallway or at a gathering with friends. You might feel excited to share your beliefs about kindness and love, but then you overhear jokes or comments that clash with those values. Suddenly, doubt creeps in, and you think, what will they think of me if I speak up? This peer pressure is a real struggle for many young people today. It can feel easier to stay silent than to stand out. Similarly, let's consider the feeling of fear when faced with making choices that align with our faith. Perhaps you're tempted to cheat on a test because everyone else is doing it. The fear of not fitting in can make it seem like the only option. Yet deep down, you know that taking the easy way out doesn't reflect who you are or what you believe. This is where the call to follow Jesus becomes so crucial. It pushes us to rise above those fears and make choices based on integrity and love. Doubt is another significant challenge in discipleship. We might wonder if we're good enough or if we truly understand what it means to follow Jesus. Just like Peter struggled with doubt during tough moments, we too may find ourselves questioning our faith, especially when life gets hard or doesn't go as planned. Remember that even Peter went from denying Jesus to becoming a leader of his followers. This shows us that doubts do not disqualify us from being part of God's story. Now think about Mary Magdalene. She faced her own fears and uncertainties when following Jesus after being healed from deep struggles. She had every reason to doubt her worthiness, yet she chose to embrace the new life he offered her. Her story reminds us that overcoming our struggles can lead to incredible freedom and purpose. Today's world bombards us with messages that often contradict what we learned from Jesus about love and acceptance. The challenge lies in staying true to ourselves amidst outside pressures, whether they come from friends, social media, or even society as a whole. So how do we navigate these challenges? It starts with building a strong foundation in faith. Make time for prayer, seek guidance through Scripture, and lean on your community for support. Surrounding yourself with people who uplift you can make all the difference when facing peer pressure or fear. As you consider these struggles today, remember that you're not alone on this journey. Just as those early disciples faced their own obstacles while following Jesus, you too can find strength in faith amid life's challenges. Embrace the call to follow me as an invitation to grow through your struggles and discover the deeper meaning of your life one step at a time. Take a moment now and reflect. What steps can you take today to overcome your doubts or fears? Choose love over fear and integrity over conformity. This is what following Jesus is all about. As we explore the journey of following Jesus, it's important to acknowledge not just the struggles, but also the incredible joy and blessings that come from this path. Each person's decision to follow him leads to a richer life, filled with purpose and connection. Imagine walking into a warm, inviting room where laughter and conversation fill the air. This scene is reminiscent of the community that can form when we decide to follow Jesus. When he called his disciples, he invited them into a family, not just a group of individuals, but a supportive community where they could share their lives and experiences. Today, we can find that same sense of belonging within our own spiritual communities. Take Anna, for example. A college student feeling lost and alone found herself involved in a campus ministry. Initially hesitant, she chose to participate in a small group where she met people who shared similar struggles and experiences. As they prayed together and shared their stories, Anna discovered a supportive network that lifted her spirits. Through this community, she found deeper connections and friendships that brought joy to her life. Anna realized that following Jesus meant being part of something bigger than herself, a group of people committed to love and support each other. In addition to community, following Jesus offers a profound sense of purpose. Think about Matthew, the tax collector we discussed earlier. When he chose to leave his old life behind to follow Jesus, he didn't just find acceptance, he discovered an incredible mission. As he wrote his gospel, he became a messenger of hope and transformation for countless others. By embracing this new purpose, Matthew's life was completely transformed. This kind of purpose doesn't have to be grand or extravagant, it can manifest in simple moments. Perhaps you're inspired to help a neighbor or mentor someone at school. These small acts can have a ripple effect, bringing joy both to others and to ourselves. Finding ways to serve can connect you more deeply with your community and strengthen your relationship with God, as you reflect His love through your actions. Inner peace is another beautiful blessing that comes from following Jesus. Life can be chaotic and filled with stress, but leaning on Him brings comfort and clarity amidst the storms. There's a story of a man named John who faced job loss and family challenges. Feeling overwhelmed, he turned to prayer and scripture for guidance. Through this journey, John found solace in remembering that he wasn't alone. With each prayer, he felt a growing calmness, allowing him to face his challenges with renewed strength. As you think about these stories and experiences from those who follow Jesus, consider how you might bring that same joy into your life. What does community look like for you? How can you serve others or find your unique purpose? In closing, remember that the path of discipleship isn't just about navigating struggles, it's also about embracing the blessings of community, purpose, and inner peace. So take a moment today to reflect on what it means for you to follow Jesus. Open your heart to the joy that awaits you on this journey. As we wrap up our exploration of what it means to follow Jesus, let's focus on how you can start applying His teachings in your own life today. It's one thing to hear about the journey of faith, but the real challenge and joy come when you take those first steps yourself. Imagine waking up each morning with a sense of purpose and direction. You might think, how can I start this journey? The answer lies in simple, daily practices that help you connect with Jesus and grow in your faith. First, let's talk about prayer. Think of prayer as a conversation with a friend who truly understands you. It doesn't have to be formal or structured, it can simply be sharing your thoughts, fears, and dreams with God throughout your day. Start your morning with a short prayer, asking for guidance and strength to follow His path. You could say something like, "Help me see opportunities to show love today." As you practice this, you'll find yourself growing more attuned to His presence in your life. Next, consider reading Scripture. The Bible is filled with wisdom that can inspire and guide you. Dedicate just a few minutes each day to read a passage. You might start with the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, where you can learn directly from Jesus' teachings and actions. Reflect on what these stories mean for you today. How do they apply to your life? Asking questions like these can deepen your understanding and help you apply His teachings more effectively. Another practical step is to engage in acts of service. Following Jesus means loving others, and there are countless ways to do this in your daily life. It could be as simple as helping a classmate with homework, volunteering at a local shelter, or even just checking in on a friend who seems down. These small acts of kindness not only help others but also bring joy and fulfillment into your own life. Consider joining a community group or church where you can connect with other believers. Sharing your journey with others who are also seeking to follow Jesus can provide support and encouragement. Just like Anna found her place in her campus ministry, you too can discover friendships that uplift and inspire you in your walk of faith. As you think about these steps, remember that following Jesus is not about perfection, it's about progress. There will be days when you stumble or feel unsure, but that's okay. The important part is to keep moving forward, trusting that each effort counts. Finally, take a moment to reflect on what it means for you personally to embrace this journey of faith. What steps will you commit to today? Will it be prayer, reading scripture, serving others, or connecting with a community? Open your heart to the possibilities that lie ahead. In conclusion, following Jesus is an ongoing adventure filled with growth and discovery. By embracing these simple practices, you can cultivate a richer relationship with Him and experience the abundant life He promises. So step forward with confidence, your journey begins now. As we reach an important moment in our exploration of what it means to follow Jesus, it's time to pause and reflect on our own lives. Think about the words, "Follow me," that Jesus spoke, words that hold great power and significance. They invite us into a relationship filled with love, guidance, and purpose. Now, I want you to take a moment and consider your own personal challenges. What are the struggles that weigh on your heart? Perhaps you're facing doubts about your future or feeling overwhelmed by the pressures of daily life. Maybe you're dealing with loneliness or trying to navigate difficult relationships. These feelings can make it hard to see where Jesus is leading you. Picture yourself standing at a crossroads. On one side is fear of stepping out into the unknown, fear of failure, or even fear of how others might perceive you if you choose to follow Jesus wholeheartedly. But on the other side lies hope, a promise that following him can lead you to a life filled with joy, peace, and purpose. Take a deep breath and think about what it would mean for you to truly embrace this journey of faith. What aspirations do you hold in your heart? Is there a dream you've been hesitant to pursue because you're afraid? Or perhaps there's someone you feel called to help but haven't taken that step yet. Reflecting on these aspirations can ignite a spark within you. Jesus' call to follow me isn't about perfection, it's about progress, taking small steps each day toward trust and love. Just like Peter took his first steps out of the boat despite his fears, or Matthew left behind his old life for something greater, you too can take those first steps in your own life. Now close your eyes for a moment and visualize what following Jesus looks like for you personally. Picture the peace that comes from trusting him with your worries and fears. Imagine waking up each day feeling connected to him through prayer and scripture, ready to face whatever comes your way. Think about how embracing community can lift your spirits. Can you reach out to someone who shares your faith? What would it look like for you to engage in acts of kindness that reflect the love of Jesus? Small actions can have profound effects, not only on others but also on your own sense of purpose. As we move towards embracing this call, allow yourself to let go of any burdens holding you back. Remember, following Jesus is an ongoing adventure filled with growth and discovery. It's okay if there are moments when doubt creeps in. What matters is how we respond. So take this time now, reflect on where you are in your journey and where you'd like to go. Open yourself up to the idea that every step toward following Jesus leads not only closer to him but also deeper into who you were created to be. Your journey begins today. Let his invitation resonate within your heart as you step forward into a life filled with hope, purpose, and love. As we come to this pivotal moment in our journey of understanding what it means to follow Jesus, I want to invite you to take action today. The call to follow me is not just a message from the past, it's a living invitation that resonates in our hearts right now, offering a path filled with hope, love, and purpose. Imagine standing at a door, ready to step into a new chapter of your life. That door represents the opportunity to follow Jesus more closely. But what does that look like for you? It could start with something as simple as prayer. Take a moment right now to close your eyes and speak to God. Share your thoughts, your fears, and your hopes. Ask him for guidance on how you can follow him more faithfully. Whether it's a few quiet minutes in the morning or a simple prayer during the day, opening up this conversation can change everything. Another step you can take is to join a community group or church where you can connect with others who share your desire to grow in faith. Just like Anna found her supportive friends at her campus ministry, you too can discover people who will walk alongside you on this journey. Having a community means having support during tough times and joy during celebrations. Together, you can encourage one another as you seek to live out Jesus' teachings in everyday life. And let's not forget about the power of kindness. Each day presents us with opportunities to show love and compassion to those around us. Whether it's helping a neighbor carry groceries, listening to a friend in need, or volunteering for a local charity, these actions reflect the heart of Jesus. They remind us that following him isn't just about personal growth, it's also about making a difference in the lives of others. Now think about your own unique situation. What challenges do you face right now? Are there relationships that need mending? Is there an opportunity for service that you've been putting off? Following Jesus means stepping outside our comfort zones and embracing those challenges head-on. As we reflect on these possibilities, remember that it's okay if the next steps feel daunting. Following Jesus is not about having all the answers or being perfect, it's about taking sincere steps of faith, even when you're unsure of where they may lead. So today, I invite you to choose one small action that aligns with following Jesus, whether it's committing to daily prayer, reaching out to join a community group, or practicing kindness in your daily interactions. Each step counts and brings you closer to him. Embrace this call with an open heart. Allow yourself to be transformed by his love and guidance as you step forward into a life filled with hope and purpose. Your journey starts now, take that first step. As we reach the conclusion of our journey exploring what it means to follow Jesus, I want to leave you with some uplifting thoughts. Remember that following Jesus is not merely a series of actions or decisions, it is a beautiful journey filled with hope, love, and endless possibilities. Think about the stories we've shared, those of Peter, Matthew, and Mary Magdalene. Each of them faced their own struggles, yet they chose to answer Jesus' call and embarked on a transformative path. Like them, you too have your unique story and challenges, but this journey doesn't have to be faced alone. You are invited to embrace your individuality within this spiritual path. Each step you take, no matter how small, contributes to your growth and understanding of God's love. Whether you're navigating the ups and downs of life or seeking purpose in new endeavors, remember that Jesus is walking with you every step of the way. His invitation to follow me expresses his desire for a personal relationship with each of us, guiding us through uncertainty and into a space of fulfillment. Consider what it means for you to stay connected to his message. In moments of doubt or fear, return to the teachings of Jesus and the comfort they bring. Reflect on how these teachings can inspire you to act kindly, serve others, and stand firm in your faith amidst life's challenges. Every act of love reflects his light in the world, and every prayer strengthens your bond with him. Also, take this time to think about your aspirations. What dreams has God placed on your heart? Perhaps you feel called to support those in need or create change in your community. Embrace these aspirations as part of your journey with Jesus. He equips you with the tools necessary to fulfill those dreams while providing hope and encouragement along the way. As you move forward, know that it's okay to falter or feel overwhelmed at times. Each struggle can be a stepping stone toward deeper faith and understanding. Surround yourself with a supportive community that encourages you to grow and connects you to others who share your desire to follow Christ. Together, you can celebrate the victories and help each other through the tough moments. In closing, I want you to remember that following Jesus is an adventure, a lifelong exploration filled with hope and love. Open your heart wide to the possibilities ahead and embrace your unique path. No matter where you are on this journey, Jesus is guiding you toward a life brimming with purpose and joy. So today, as you step into the world outside, carry his message with you. Let it inspire your actions and the way you relate to others. Your journey starts now. Take that first step with courage and confidence.